It just got real when it comes to the Bulls landing Giannis Antetokounmpo. Hi, I am Shaq Barnes here with another episode of Bulls Digest, the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls. I also noticed that 67% of you guys have been watching the channel and have not subscribed. Treat it like the Bulls intro and run through that subscribe button. But yes, we're not gonna waste you guys' time. We gotta get right into it because we gotta double back on this. Hey Giannis, do you remember what you said about playing for the Bulls? We gotta really talk about this because Giannis to the Bulls can happen. Now a lot of things will have to go right into the Bulls' favor, and Giannis have to say, "Hey, I want to play for Chicago. Can y'all do me a favor by sending me to Chicago?" Now that will have to be the move and play for the Bulls to get Giannis. But when you really look at the situation that's going on with the Milwaukee Bucks, Dame injured now. The Milwaukee Bucks don't have control of no picks to 2030, and they really don't have no ability to make no moves. Nobody else can really. They could get value that could turn into a championship team. So now it has got real. And Giannis said that if he's on the team, he always want to compete for championships. If that's the case, he got to compete for championships. And if the Bulls want to get in play with this, even though we've been moving in the right direction, start since the All Star break. But the Bulls front office gonna have to do a whole 360 mindset if they want to land a guy like Giannis. Because if you land Giannis, you're saying that I'm committing to winning a championship. You're not just trying to bring Giannis in for a big name. Because then, what's the point of trading all these assets for a guy who's not going to be happy here in Chicago? But if you guys don't remember that Giannis quote, let's go ahead. Let's talk about it. Giannis Antetokounmpo turned some heads down I-94 during a interview in 2022. The Buck star spoke about the respect he has for Michael Jordan's old team, and he did anything but shut down the possibility of one day donning a red jersey. The exact quote is, "I think anybody you ask that question to who plays basketball, if he says no, he would be a liar. It's a team that won multiple championships. It's a team that one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player, played for. So it's a no-brainer." Antetokounmpo told Fox kickoff team in 2022, "Everybody would love to play for Chicago down the line. You never know. You never know how life brings it. Maybe I play for Chicago, but right now I'm committed to the Bucks. Or I'm committed to Milwaukee." This was in 2022. So, and it was a different time there. He won not too long ago before that. They was making moves, still being competitive. But now when you look at the landscape of where Milwaukee is headed, they in a dead zone. And the only person on that team that has value to start the rebuild is Giannis. You can't trade Dame. Kuzma don't got that much value. You don't got no picks. You can't do nothing. They ran the well dry. And when the well runs dry, then that's when you like, hey, we got to rebuild. Because if Giannis stays there, he's just gonna be there losing. Might put up crazy stats, and Giannis still got some years left of great basketball. At least he still got 5 more years to be as great as he is. So I think the Bulls should uh, jump on this because I also think Giannis still would love to live closer to Milwaukee too. He got a home there, so he probably wouldn't really have to sell his home if he was to play for the Bulls. Because it's right, it's a nice drive, but it's still a drive away. It's not a flight away, so you can still keep your house and then easily drive home during the off season, or get some little condo right here, or drive home after every game if you want to drive to Milwaukee. It's either which way that he wants to go about it. But the Bulls should jump on this opportunity instantly. And I was looking up a couple different sites where people was saying they odds of teams landing Giannis. This one had the Chicago Bulls odd at like the 15th team, middle of the pack, just like we always are for some reason. Yeah, Giannis has toyed with the idea of playing for the Chicago Bulls, previously saying that it's a no-brainer. Everybody would love to play for Chicago. The United Center is a driving distance from his home. in Milwaukee, so that transition won't be tough. The Bulls control all of their draft picks going forward. They have some promising young players led by Miles Buzelis, Josh Giddey, who will be a restricted free agent, Kobe White, and Ayo Dosunmu. Chicago isn't really at the stage where this will make a ton of sense for Giannis. If he left the Bucks, he's presumably want to chase the championship, but the Bulls could move all four of their unprotected first round picks if they wanted to make a Godfather type offer. And that's what the point I was bringing up about the Chicago Bulls front office gonna have to do a whole 360 for what they've been doing, because from how we moved the last 5 years, it's not a beautiful sight for a guy like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, who will probably want to, if he leaves Milwaukee, he's going to want to go for a championship. But the reason why I think the Bulls are in play, because when the team rebuilds, you want young players and draft picks. Milwaukee, like I told you, don't have access to their draft picks, and the Chicago Bulls have access to all of their draft picks. So when you put that in perspective, the draft picks are what is going to turn Milwaukee on to, hey, if what we say we trade to Chicago, we could probably go get a Nikola Vucevic who's on an expiring contract. Maybe you got to trade a Josh Giddey, maybe a Kobe White if you have to. In this scenario, and probably give up like two to three first round picks to get a guy like Giannis. But then you also got to make sure you still have enough on the table to build a championship team around here, because you can't just bring Giannis in. We trade all our assets for Giannis and we don't have nothing, and it would defeat the purpose of even having Giannis here. But when you look at the Milwaukee Bucks draft picks, this is what I was telling you, from 2025, 26, 27, 28, 29, even to 2030, they don't fully own none of their draft picks. So for the next 5 years, they do not have a first round draft pick or even a pick. So with that being said, you're going to have to want picks. They will want picks, so the Bulls got to be willing to give up two. I want to say 2 to 3. I really don't want to say 3 because you still need other stuff to trade, but at least 2 first round picks to give up to get a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Then you go add the other pieces to make the Chicago Bulls back a championship talented team. And when you look at the Milwaukee Bucks payroll, as you can see, like I said, Dame is out right now with a torn Achilles. Probably gonna miss majority of all next season. You look at Giannis. Giannis is going to be under contract until 2028 season. And the only thing that scares them about Giannis is like the Milwaukee Bucks will have to probably play ball with us too to get him to want to come get him to Chicago, because we is in the same division. It's hard to trade your star in your same division. You got to see him. But if you really look at this roster, probably with what they want to do with Giannis is young players and draft picks. Look at the salary. Giannis and Dame is majority of the salary, and you got a little bit with Kyle Kuzma. So I would think that the Milwaukee Bucks would probably, if I give up Giannis, we just need young players and draft picks, and the Bulls actually have that. Now, how much of the Bulls should give up? That's a question that's to be determined. I think if the Bulls was to do this now, you probably would have to throw in Vooch because of the expiring contract. Maybe a Josh Giddey because he's young, and I would try my best to keep Montes Buzelis if you could. But I know they'll probably ask for Montes Buzelis too, but I wouldn't give up Montes Buzelis at all. And then if you look at the Bulls contract teams, like I said, when you look at the Bulls, you get Vooch on a low expiring deal. Maybe you could probably sneak off Patrick Williams. Maybe Patrick will go to a different scenario. You could sell him like, hey, look how Bobby Portis panned out. Now, when you look at what Giannis Antetokounmpo gives you at the helm, he's still giving you 30, 11, 6, shooting 60% from the inside of the paint. And I think Giannis' play style, up and down fast, with how the Bulls was playing last season, would be outstanding, because Giannis will bring the Bulls something that they need, a paint dominating presence. And that's what the Bulls need, and they got the bunch of shooters around Giannis. But let me know what you guys think about this. Make sure you guys comment down below What is the chance of the Chicago Bulls landing Giannis Antetokounmpo? This is the Shaq Barnes, the episode of Bulls Digest, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.